Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I'm helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I'm helping you break through your barriers and transcend limitations you may have. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. I see a lot of people struggling with energy shifts that are going on the planet. Some people even going into spiritual psychosis. I see some people just, like, the opposite, depressed, like, don't want to be here anymore. People are just overwhelmed. So I'm just going to give you some of the tips that have helped me. Help me in general when I'm overwhelmed, but especially with this, with some of the energy shifts that are going on. The top of this video is how to deal with energy shifts that are going on the planet right now. So as our Earth is shifting in frequency, things that don't resonate are going to come to the surface for awareness, right? Things are of a lower nature. Our shadow, right? Everything that's been running our life in the background, subconsciously. So fears, insecurities, emotional trauma. Basically everything that's holding us back from being our highest self version, right? And if you haven't done a lot of inner work, you're probably going to have a more difficult time when the energy shifts are going on than usual. Remember, we also had different portals. I made videos on the portals, on the new moons, full moons. I have a whole playlist of the cosmic updates, the cosmic events, energy updates, and even astrology. So check that out. So some tips that help me. First of all, when you're getting all these high frequencies, right, that are overwhelming, a lot of it can even feel like, some people get it more in the body, some people more in the head. A lot of people that are more spiritually aware are probably getting more downloads, right? It's like racing energy, racing frequency, and you can feel very ungrounded, right? You're kind of way up here, you're overthinking, all this is coming in, and you haven't really grounded the energy. Part of what we're going through on the planet is, it's not just raising your frequency, and some people want to be like beamed up. They're not really grounded on this earth. And I made a video on the importance of being grounded. A lot of spiritual people don't want to hear that, but it's part of it. It's part of what's going on the planet. It's also grounding that high frequency onto earth. We are still living on this earth. I know we all want to get beamed up. We don't want to be here. I don't want to too sometimes. Realistically, we're still on this earth. Whatever the state of consciousness, you talk about 3D, 5D, whatever, right? We're still, regardless, whatever label you want to call it. I don't like to get into the labels because then it puts such expectation on it and then it sounds all woo-woo and stuff. But I'll just say there's a change of frequency, change in consciousness that's going on the planet. The veil is also thinner, right? We're being awakened to new truths. We're even being aware of maybe some deeper inner wounds we had, even childhood wounds. For me, I have more like childhood wounds that are coming up unresolved, that are coming up for me. I've done a lot of inner work in other areas, but that's the one area I was avoiding. And I talk about the shadow, right? It's kind of the area where, like, it's a shadow we've been avoiding or pushing it down. Every time someone would say, like, work on an inner child, I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Nah, I'm good. It's usually the things you're resisting and have the feeling about, and, like, the stuff you don't want to face. That's the stuff you need to work on the most. I made a short video on it's a good time for shadow work. I think that was when it was Scorpio season, but still a good video to watch, just kind of quick. If you're bringing up a lot of emotional trauma, like what I am, or even some people have more physical trauma, right? It can be really heavy. The most important thing I can say to do right now is to do what you can to feel stable in the moment. Do what you can to feel stable, to feel even grounded. I know we don't want to be grounded because probably the pain, the emotional, a lot of the stuff's in our lower chakras, right? So when we're grounded, it's like we have to face all those things and they feel like they're blocks and they're heavy and they're very uncomfortable. I know, especially if you haven't done a lot of work on your root chakra, it can be tough. You feel like you can't stabilize yourself. You might even struggle with financial issues, right? Just not feeling very grounded on this earth, not connected to this earth, but the earth also has healing properties too. Remember, we do live here. But what can you do to feel stable in the moment? Breathwork helps me. Meditation helps me. Anything that calm you down. I'm talking about natural ways. Because right now, even substances, alcohol, and whatever else you do, even cigarettes, stuff like that, when this shift is going on the planet, and even certain foods that are like heavier and fattening, you might have more resistance to it as your vibration is rising. You're not going to be able to tolerate a lot of that stuff anymore. So some of the things you do to self-soothe might not really self-soothe. You might have the opposite effect and make you feel worse. I've had that experience with a few different things. So what can you do to feel naturally stable? Sometimes for me, it's going out in nature. Things I can do to make me laugh more, get out of that, whatever, the fear or the uncomfortable that's coming up. Sometimes it's allowing yourself to release emotions. Some people don't cry, they don't release emotions, I mean in a healthy way, right? So releasing emotions in a healthy way. If you need to cry, cry, have a cry session. Take a bubble bath. Do something that really brings you inner joy. Sometimes when you have all these frequencies coming on, these energy shifts, sometimes technology is too much because you got a bunch of other people also experiencing energy shifts at different stages, and you'll get triggered more online and stuff. So sometimes you got to take a step away back. You got to take a step away from that stuff, which I struggle with. I'm still working on that, but I'm also trying to grow business and everything. So I have to balance and take time away sometimes from that. I burn a lot of sage now to get rid of negative energy. I wear protective crystals even. Palo Santo is good. Those things help. Even burning incense helps me feel more stable, more relaxed. Superfoods actually help me feel more stable when I don't feel good. Feel like heavy emotions. I drink like different things like green juice, like cold pressed green juice, stuff like that. So whatever you can to feel stable. Exercise really helps you with the grounding in those energies. Even if you're just going on a walk. I don't care if you're going on a walk around the block. Even if it's freezing cold, sometimes it actually feels better for me. I like do it. Even going to the gym, whatever. Even moving, yoga, stretching, dancing helps a lot too. Anything you can do to help move the energy around more is good. Whatever that may be. That's why moving your body is very important. Especially if you're at a job, you're sitting at a desk all day like I am. You have all these high frequency energies, you can feel like you're losing it, you know. So what can you do to stabilize yourself? Also, the people you're surrounding with. If you're around a bunch of unstable people, emotionally unstable people as well, I'm not saying you got to cut them off completely, but if you need to, but take some space from them. They're not going to help you feel any better, and misery likes company. So those are just some steps that I have to help stabilize yourself, but keep yourself more balanced. I like to get Reiki sessions done too. Not everyone's into that, but that really helps me when I'm feeling like off balance. A lot of it just processing these emotions. A lot of it's the emotions just want to be expressed, they want to be released. So even for me, making videos, making content, even making TikToks, if you don't feel like doing a whole YouTube thing, whatever, or just making some content sometimes, or even writing can help. It depends what the problem is. If it's something that's too intense, it might be something that needs to be released, something that needs to move, right? Or sometimes you just need sleep. Sometimes I sleep like, last weekend I had one day where I slept like literally probably over 12 hours and I needed it. It really helped me integrate some of the energy shifts. I woke up feeling a lot better. You know, what you're eating, drinking and everything really makes a difference. You are what you eat, right? You are what you consume. And be mindful of the things you're watching, the music you're listening to, all those things are going to have an effect on your emotional state, right? So when you have all these energy shifts going on, they might not make, if you're listening to a bunch of depressing music, which I do a lot, I know, or especially watching the news, God help you, but depends on what you're watching or anything that you're consuming in any form with any of your senses, right, would have effect on your stability too. You know, everything contributes a little bit. So if you could remove one thing that's unstable or that's not making you feel good and do something that is, or something that can calm you, relax you, and kind of balance you out a little more, it will help you feel a little bit better. And hang in there. You know, this is all happening for a reason. There's all lessons to be learned. There's things to work through. This is all helping you so you can become your best version and bring in the higher frequency, you know, grounded on this planet, so we can create a different world. You know, as I say, the matrix is collapsing in certain ways. So what can you do to feel more stable? Realizing that also you can't have control over everything that's going on. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. There's a reason things are happening. Allow the changes, allow things to play out. You'll feel a little more stable if you can just allow things and accept things rather than resisting them, rather than fighting them. Certain things you can't control. You can only control how you respond. So if you can respond in a stable way, the outcome will be better of whatever's going on. Is not going to be better when you're flipping out, reacting. Grounded, and more stable you are, the more balanced you feel, the better you will be able to handle whatever's coming at you. And you'll be a stronger person too, and you will start to feel more balanced and better in general. That's all I have for today. If you like this video, hit those subscribe and like buttons. I also have a Facebook group and Instagram and TikTok. The links are in my video description and in my channel description. I also offer transformational and spiritual coaching if you're interested in that. My contact information is in this video description as well. Have a good day. Namaste.